Hi everybody, welcome to the Packer Franchise Podcast. I'm your host, Packer Franchise, and today I'm going to be talking to you guys about which opponents I have, or ranking our opponents for next season, because there's really not a lot to talk about. I'm going to put a hold on the free agency picks until, maybe after the Super Bowl, so you can get a better understanding of what key players are, that thing Green Bay should get, and all that, so I'm going to put a hold on that. But yeah, today we're going to be talking about who I feel like is going to be the toughest opponents coming in the next season, and hopefully you guys agree with my predictions. So as you can see on screen, in order, I got the Chiefs on the road at Kansas City, which, in my opinion, that's probably going to be the toughest game of our season next season. Rodgers Mahomes on the road at Arrowhead, the loudest stadium in the NFL. I would be kind of shocked if this is not a primetime game, because you basically got two of the same quarterbacks, Rodgers and Mahomes. Both players can make dynamic plays and can do a lot for the team. But yeah, Kansas City should be number one. Number two, I got at Chicago, which division rival, the defending, in my opinion, best defense in the league. And it's an old classic rivalry, Packers-Bears, and I know Packers have won 8 of the last 9 trips at Chicago, but things are starting to change in Chicago. They're getting to be a better team. Obviously, let's not be biased. They're getting to be a better team. And should be interesting to see the Packers-Bears rivalry. 3 at Dallas. I put top 3 compared to the other opponents, but I feel like Dallas should be a tough game. Now I'll do my season predictions with everything that Packers later on this week, but due to me ranking opponents, Dallas would be lower, but in my opinion, they should be lower. But I feel like Dallas was starting to get really good. Not really good, but just decently good. All you gotta do is stop Ezekiel Elliott and you won the game in Dallas or at home. Cowboys are not that good of a football team, in my opinion. Even though I just said they're good, but they're mostly Ezekiel Elliott. So there's at Dallas. At Minnesota, division rival, plus we're 0-3 at US Bank Stadium, 0-2 when Rodgers is starting quarterback. When we haven't won at a stadium ever, you gotta put them in the top 5. Green Bay has not won at US Bank Stadium at all. They have not won yet. So hopefully next year's the year we finally win at US Bank Stadium. Number 5, I kind of surprised I put this a little bit high, but Green Bay will be on the road to take on, tied with the best record in the AFC with the Chargers. And I probably should put them lower because it honestly feels like a home game to the Packers, to be honest, because we saw the LA Rams game and we're mostly Packer fans instead of Rams fans. Could that be the case for this upcoming game? Maybe. But, it's still on the road against a tough AFC opponent, so it should be fun. That, I think, will be a late Fox game. 6th toughest opponent, home against the Bears. Division rival at home. Nothing to explain. And honestly, the more you look at our home schedule, and I don't want to overlook any opponent, every opponent is tough. This should be a fairly good home schedule. Our toughest opponent is either the Bears or the Vikings. And I'll get to my predictions later on in the week, but I just feel that way. But Green Bay should fairly do well at home this season, like they've had in years past. 7th toughest opponent, the Eagles. Nothing much to say. Carson Wentz is obviously going to start. But if it's an early game, because I mean he should be 100% by the time training camp comes, but it just depends who the quarterback is. Nick Foles or Carson Wentz, but I think Philadelphia is still a good team, even though they might get rid of Brandon Graham, or Brandon Graham might be gone. We'll see. Eighth toughest opponent home against the Vikings. We kind of been stomping Minnesota home recently. Well, we should have won last year. Year before that, we had Brett Hundley, which 16-0. Think about it. If we had Aaron Rodgers, I'm not making excuses. I'm just saying, probably would have won. And year before that, we just stomped them on Christmas Eve 2016, 38-25. My ninth toughest opponents will be at the Giants. I feel like going on the road at now this is my opinion as a trap game for us. I feel like Packers at Giants is gonna be a trap game because Giants are obviously have been a terrible team for the last 2 years. No offense to the Giants, but they've been. But I just feel like Green Bay is gonna go in there, and everyone's gonna say Green Bay's gonna win by this many points. But it's gonna be a trap game for us, kind of like the Washington game last year. I said it was gonna be a trap game for us. So that's why I kind of picked Giants to be in the middle. But yeah. On the 10th toughest opponent at Lions, division rival. Detroit always plays us tough at their house, which I'm kind of trying to put them a little bit higher because if you think about it, last couple meetings with Lions, when Aaron Rodgers is a healthy quarterback, lost at Detroit, won by a touchdown, won by a Hail Mary, lost by 12, and won by a Randall Cobb touchdown in 2012. 2013, Matt Flynn started, but Detroit always plays us tough at Detroit for God knows why, and they're pretty good. So, I mean, overall they're not that good, but they're pretty good when they play us. So, 11th toughest opponents will be the Broncos. I thought about this long and hard because I'm like, Denver Broncos. They're my playoff prediction team from last year. I thought they would be a 6 seed in the playoffs, which had a great path to the playoffs. But Vance Joseph kind of killed them with a new coach in Vic Fangio, and I believe Mike Munchak's the offensive coordinator. Correct me if I'm wrong. I feel like the Broncos team will be better than they were last year, but it's still at Lambeau. If it was at Denver, I probably would have put Broncos higher, but it's at Lambeau. So yeah. Week 12 with the 49ers, kind of, think myself why I didn't put them higher. Jimmy Garoppolo's coming back, but Jimmy Garoppolo didn't play well so far when he was with the 49ers. I know he only played like 2 games, but he just hasn't been playing well, and I don't know how that ACL is going to be affecting him. I mean, hopefully he's all good, 100% healthy. Because I really want to see a good, Aaron Rodgers, Jimmy Garoppolo game, because that'd be pretty fun. Week 13, and the rest of the games are home game, basically, because, it's home. Green Bay plays really well at home. Panthers, I'm not too worried about. We've won on the road in Carolina, and we lost by a touchdown or less. I feel like we'll be fine at home. It'll be an easier opponent at home. 14 home against the Lions. 15 Redskins. And I will say this, I feel really bad for Alex Smith. Alex Smith, in my opinion, is one of the classiest and one of the well-respected quarterbacks in the league. I'm hoping Alex Smith gets full recovery. Now, if he never plays again, but hopefully the man can just walk and can jog and all that. But praying for Alex Smith. Hopefully he gets better. He will get better. I just want to point that out real quick. And I know we lost the Redskins earlier this season. But, unfortunately, it's probably going to be Colt McCoy quarterback. Colt can be a good QB, but I just feel like at Lambeau again. And obviously Week 16 against the Raiders, which is a game that if you're a Packers fan, you should be excited about because Jordy Nelson returns to Lambeau for the first time since he was released by the Packers. In my opinion, they should make this a Monday night primetime game or Thursday night primetime game because it's a great storyline. Jordy Nelson comes back, Lambeau. Derek Carr reunites with his former Fresno State wide receiver Davante Adams. Both very good quarterbacks. In my opinion, Derek Carr would have probably won the AFC title if he was healthy. If he did not, unfortunately, get hurt in 2016. But it should be a good game. But yeah, overall, opponent rankings: number 1 at the Chiefs, at Chicago, at Dallas, at Minnesota, at LA Chargers, home against the Bears, home Eagles, home Vikings, at Giants, at Lions, home against the Broncos, at Niners, and home versus Panthers, home Lions, home Redskins, and home versus the Raiders. Those are my opponent rankings. If I had to change, I would probably switch the Giants and the Eagles. But let me know what you guys think. Like I said, these are my opinions on how I feel like which opponent's gonna be the toughest. Now, overall, and I understand we're coming off our worst season in a long time, our worst season since 2008, and people freak out. Green Bay went from 2008, they went from 6-10 to 11-5 record in 1 year. After that 2008 season, I'm trying to think what they all did, but they've stepped up their game and they went from 6-10 to 11-5. I think the Green Bay Packers can do that again. But overall, it's a pretty fair and decent schedule. Now, hopefully, and I talked on the Packers in a live stream last night. I'm not a person to make excuses, but the NFL committee, excuse me, the NFL committee hopefully going to put Green Bay in back-to-back road games against the Chiefs and the Cowboys. I feel like that November stretch was kind of brutal to Green Bay. You're going on the road against two of the best teams in football and actually are playing the Super Bowl right now. And you get to go home against the Dolphins and get to go back on a short week to Seattle. I feel like they should be a little bit nicer to the schedule. And I understand it's an excuse and I understand that, but I just found it odd that they had played back-to-back tough opponents and they went to Seattle 10 days later on a short week. So hopefully, like I said, it's not an excuse. I'm just saying the committee be nice schedule. Later on, before the actual schedule is released, I'll probably do my schedule predictions of where I want to see which week I want to see these games because I always do it every year because it's always fun and I always predict like the primetime games for Green Bay. Like right now, just based off looking at this, I think at Chiefs, home against the Bears, because we haven't played on a non-primetime game since 2013. Every game that involved Chicago at Green Bay, it was a primetime game. 2014 NBC, 2015 NBC, 2016 CBS, 17 CBS, 18 Sunday Night Football. I think that will be a primetime game. Bears at Chiefs at Cowboys and Raiders. I feel like those are going to be primetime games. But alright, guys, those are my opponent rankings. like I said, not a lot to talk about in Green Bay Nation, and sort of been lacking podcasts. There's not really much to talk about. But I'm trying to get another channel going, kind of like a little gaming channel or whatever, just something to do in my spare time too. Because I also like to play lots of video games. I'm huge into football and I'm huge into video games. So if you guys want to see a video game channel, let me know in the comments. I'll get one going as soon as I get a good capture card. I'm trying to get Elgato, but yeah, that's basically it for the podcast today. 2 videos are being released today. I'll continue on tonight. I'll make probably 2 more podcasts for tomorrow. And so yeah, guys. So take care and have a good Tuesday, guys. See ya.